Hey everybody, welcome back to the Manny and Sean Experience podcast. On today's episode, what episode? This is 82. It's been a while. We're going to tell you about a movie all about feelings. And we're going to answer more of your questions and more of your story times. Stick around. Stay tuned.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Manny.
And I'm Sean.
Happy to have you here on episode 82. Sean corrected me here at the beginning of the podcast. It's been a while, okay? Don't judge. What do y'all think of my fit? What do y'all think of this lid here? Fit.
And if you don't know what he's talking about, you're going to have to go look at the video.
Oh, I forgot. Some of y'all don't watch us. But that's a good point to say that our podcast streams exclusively on Spotify. It's, don't just watch the reels. Go watch it on Spotify.
Yes.
You get to see my face. You get to see how mad Sean gets. It's great.
I don't get mad.
Sometimes.
Anyway, thank you for coming back. Like Manny said, we've been gone for a little bit. We are going to start doing a summer schedule for the rest of summer.
For the rest of the summer, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do a summer schedule. We just have some things going on and, just want to enjoy summer sometimes.
Yeah.
Even if it is going outside and sweating our ass off. Anyways, this is episode 82. It's coming out on Wednesday, July 17th. We've posted the full schedule on our socials. Just Instagram and Twitter, actually. And maybe Threads.
I was like, why did you freeze?
Because I forgot. I had a President Biden moment.
Don't do that.
It's essentially going to be every other week going through September. And then we're heading to Spain at the end of September. So the podcast, after our last episode, drops on the 25th of September. We'll go on break, and then the next episode returns October 16th.
You got all that? Did you write it down?
It's going to be a pop quiz at the end, so make sure you are taking notes. I'm just kidding. How you been, sir?
I've been good. It's been kind of busy weeks at work, but have gotten quite a few projects off my plate and have picked up new projects. So it's the never-ending cycle. But as a whole, I'm doing very well.
Awesome.
How about you?
I'm doing pretty good, doing some training at work. Doing some work. Work is work, I guess, at this point. It's going all right. Yeah.
Good. So glad it's going well for you.
I mean, work is work. Like, I'm just like, I'm working so I can take time off and buy things I like.
Sure.
I applaud everybody out there that's like, I found my career. I work to live. I applaud you. I applaud that you enjoy your job so much. But I really just don't feel like we were put on this earth to be working this much. And then we retire when we're like 60 something, or if conservatives have it, we'll retire like 75, and then we'll have like 3 years of life, and by then my bones aren't working, so I'm not gonna be able to do anything.
They're gonna work you to the bone.
With that, we go into the mix.
You're in the mix.
Hey everyone, welcome back. We are now in the mixtape, and
we're gonna mix it.
Week we are going to talk about a couple of things. While we were out, we got a chance to go and see Inside Out 2. And if you are new to this podcast, you should know that we are very big advocates for mental health, therapy, emotions, the whole thing. So what better movie than Inside Out to go see?
Also, if you're watching us on Spotify, Anger's right up there.
Yes, that's Manny's spirit animal.
Oh, he's so cute. I love him. Anyways.
So we're going to talk about the movie. If you have not seen it, I don't know, maybe you don't want to listen to this part. I mean, we're not, I wouldn't say there's spoilers in
It's
the
not a
movie.
spoiling movie.
No.
It is really something even if you hear about it, you should go watch it.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it. And if you haven't seen Inside Out 1, you should watch that as well.
Yeah, you don't technically have to watch Inside Out 1. But
no, you don't. But just so that it's a good movie as well.
Yeah, they're both good.
Um,
So we'll try not to spoil it, I guess, even though you can't really spoil it. But
we're going to talk about it. If feelings get hurt, they get hurt. Feelings, get it?
Feelings, haha, that's what Inside Out's about.
So, one, I guess, do you want to give like your overall feeling about the movie and then we dive into it?
Sure. Yeah. I love the movie. I originally loved the first one. It was very relatable. The second one felt even more relatable.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because the person, what is her name? Riley is heading into those teen years, high school and all that. So is it high school or college?
No, it's high school.
High school. So I feel like that one touched a little bit more because I feel like that's where we pick up most of our trauma. It's when we're going into high school, middle school. So I feel like I related way more to this one than the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very more 2024 in that it was touching on lots of things that people go through and sometimes don't understand how to deal with it. So I love the movie. I think it was an A+. I think you should go see it 100%. It's not wasted money.
No, I loved it too. I feel like it's a movie for kids and adults. There's a lot of meaning that both can get out of it. And I just love the way that they portray certain emotions and the ways that you can relate to it in your own life. Like immediately start clicking in your head, like, hey, I do that, or I've done that, and I've had this emotion and I've acted this way because of it. It was just a really great movie.
It was a super movie. And so they introduced new emotions.
Yes. So the original emotions are, let me see if I can get them all: joy, sadness, fear, disgust, anger, and that's 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Got them all. Yay. So they introduced
anxiety.
Mm-hmm. Can he get them all?
Oh, Jesus. Embarrassment.
Yes.
And I don't know what that is. Boredom.
I forget what his emotion is called.
I forgot.
But like ennui, he was like coolness. Like unbotheredness, basically, is what he was.
So anxiety, embarrassment, envy,
ennui,
and ennui.
Look at ennui, see what it means.
I gotta look it up.
Yeah,
ennui.
So yes, we got all these new emotions who moved in. Did you find it?
Ennui. Ennui. A feeling of listlessness and dissatisfaction arising from a lack of occupation or excitement. He succumbed to envy and despair.
His character was more of the one that plays it cool. Yeah. It was like, I don't give a crap, whatever.
Yeah.
Nonchalant.
That's the emotion I feel like we all need a little more of. Because we really rest on the other ones a lot more.
We do.
In society.
So the movie kind of opens up with the regular emotions doing their thing. We learned that Joy had built this contraption where some of the not so good memories, they just chuck it to the back of the mind. Like, you know, people tend to do.
Out of sight, out of mind.
That's what she said. They went to sleep, and all of a sudden there was this loud ass noise, and it was the puberty button.
No.
So she chucked that. Did not help.
You can't stop what's coming.
You can't stop what's coming. So the new emotions moved in. It was kind of a shock to the old emotions, and it was kind of them tussling for power.
Yeah, the emotions have to deal with their own emotions.
They do. And it was all about Riley, growing up, basically. She has new friends, wanting to fit in. It was a lot of that. We're not going to do a play-by-play of the whole movie.
It was great to see how they did showcase a teenager and how the emotions in the head worked.
Yeah.
How, I remember myself, I'd go from angry to mad to sad to happy to sad to angry, like in just a matter of 25 seconds.
Yeah.
So to see that portrayed on the movies, it was so relatable. It's like, yeah, I've been there.
Because when they once the Wrecking Crew came in, they put in the new board, like anger touched the button and Riley went off. And they were like, whoa, that was too much.
Yeah.
And he was like, I barely touched it. But it was just an example of, how teenagers can be.
Yeah, and just how when we get older, we portray our emotions even more loud.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word
word.
there. Like our anger is not the anger we had when we were like 8.
No. And then also if you've seen the first one, all of the little orbs or memories form and shape who Riley is.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of our emotions and all of the experiences that we go through shape the person that we become. So I thought that was really interesting because Joy was trying to build, a super upbeat, super positive Riley who believed in herself, which is great. You need to believe in yourself. But also the ones that she was kind of checking to the back of the mind, like those things also shape you and form you into who you are.
Yeah, I think it was a good lesson in negative experiences or feelings. Yes, you don't want them, but you shouldn't forget them.
Yes.
Like you may not want to judge every point of your life based on that negative experience, but it was a learning opportunity.
Yeah.
Which I feel like Joy in the movie was trying to take those negative experiences away. And in the movie, you eventually see that she needed those experiences because she needed to feel pain, anger, and all those things.
Yes. So I feel like the breakout emotion for this movie was definitely anxiety.
Yes, definitely anxiety.
Which I think we all can relate to.
Yes, I very much can.
And
I was like, that's me.
Essentially, she kicks the old emotions out of the control room and kind of takes over Riley.
Yeah.
And we learned by the end of the movie, like she had good intentions.
Yeah, Joy wasn't trying to completely change Riley, but was trying to shape this super optimistic person.
Right.
Which in reality, we can be optimistic people, but the truth of the matter is all those other emotions play a part in our life.
Yeah. And to see what anxiety did to Riley, like it tried to make her the perfect person. Mm-hmm. And just seeing the little things that anxiety would do, like I want these people to like me, so I need to play along. Like I need to say a certain thing so that they feel more accepting. Embarrassment was another cool emotion because he didn't really speak.
Yeah, he did.
He was so adorable.
He was cute.
Yeah, I love the morals that you learned in the movie. There is a scene where Riley has a panic attack, and that scene was very emotional. And you learn that, anxiety is a part of us.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to control us, but we also need anxiety because it helps us to get things done.
Right. it was like there was a line in a movie. I may be paraphrasing here, but she was like, I was just trying to make her happy or something like that. No, I was trying to keep her safe.
Yeah.
Anxiety. Which really is what anxiety can be, right?
Yeah.
And they did a great job depicting how anxiety runs through thousands of possible options of things. That
Oh
can
my
happen.
God, that seems crazy.
And I was like, yeah, that seems strangely familiar. And it just touched on that so much. And then hearing that line of I was just trying to keep her safe was like, wow, so as much as I want to resist anxiety, I now understand why, like in therapy, you work to understand your anxiety and how to, I guess, use it to your advantage, because there is important things that you learn through anxiety.
Yes.
I don't know about it keeping you safe, but it makes you think of what ifs.
It does. I go see the movie.
Go see the movie.
It is a beautiful movie. It is very well done. I love that we got to see emotions of other people as well, like her mother and her father.
Oh my God, yeah, that was adorable.
It was, because it's not just Riley. We all have emotions.
Right.
Her mom has emotions. Her dad has emotions. Like, her friends have emotions. We saw some of her friends' emotions as well. So like, it's just a great way to help kids, I want to say, become more emotionally mature, but understanding their emotions, because if you're at Riley's age, you're going through changes. In this movie, seeing it through her eyes and the things that she was going through, how she was turning into a different person than her friends are used to, or even she was used to, just to fit in, and her realizing that, like, all of that was masterpiece. Yeah. Can we have an Inside Out 3, please?
I would say it's probably one of the best Pixar movies in a while. It's so relatable. So if you're an adult and you're like, I'm not gonna go see a kids movie, I'm like, the adult, it is good enough for kids to understand the importance of emotions, but it's even better for adults because we really understand. Because when they tackle something in the movie, you're like, I've been there. Yeah, I know that feeling. So I think it's a great movie for kids and adults. If you have kids, take the kids and you'll learn your own adult lesson there.
It was also very funny.
It was funny. Super funny. So, I mean, the moral of the story of that movie is accepting all of our emotions, whether we like it or not.
And accepting our faults as well as our wins.
Yeah. And also taking those negative experiences that we sometimes carry in our life and create, or those scenarios maybe prevent us making friends, maybe finding a boyfriend, a girlfriend, whatever it is. That past trauma or history that we bring with us is really okay to bring with us as long as we know how to properly manage those things. So therapy is always great to talk those things through, because in therapy, you can break down those emotions and understand how important they were to learn something in that process. Even though in that moment, you're like, what the fuck is this? But go see Inside Out 2. Strongly recommended. I want to buy, what's his name again? Embarrassment. I want to buy his little plush. Just he wasn't very much in the movie, but he did help. Oh, that would be a spoiler. I won't say it. Go watch that part. He didn't talk, but he did things.
I thought you were going to say you were going to get anxiety.
We are working on Manny's anxiety, so let's not bring that out.
Okay.
So as we've been collecting questions and stories from all of you, we thought we would hit them again this week, because our last couple of before last week's, well, last week got a little spicy too. Has been just a lot of politics and whatnot. So we'll try to leave that out of it today.
We're in that era.
Yes. I'm just going to tackle this question we picked here. Okay. What's your advice for someone who just started their journey as an openly gay man? I have never dated a man before. Been out of dating scene for a moment. Things have changed.
I would say number one, take your time. Do not rush into anything, and do not let anyone rush you into anything. Make sure that whatever it is, there's a level of comfortability for you, because this is new to you. There's a lot of one, I would say, try to surround yourself with supportive people, whether that's friends, family, if you have gay friends or whatever the case may be, just try to surround yourselves with people that are going to support you and try to help guide you on this journey. And the other thing is, put yourself out there. It's okay to be uncomfortable because this is new to you, but it's the other way to kind of get you into that space, if that makes sense.
I would also say if you're going to use apps, use them, but understand that people are wild on the apps. There's a lot of ghosting, and you shouldn't take that personal. It's just society, I think, in general. I don't think it's just the gay community.
No, it happens on everybody's app.
So I think it's just a normal thing with dating. Going out to the gay clubs, if at all possible. Just maybe feeling more comfortable being in the environment. Because some people do struggle with that. Some people struggle being in gay clubs or gay events. So just putting yourself in those situations, whether you go to have a drink during happy hour where maybe it's not too busy, and maybe you spark conversation with somebody at the bar. I'm not saying that's going to be your one and only, but at least, sometimes, what I have noticed at certain points in the gay community, you will find people that are just so open and willing to show you the world that we are in as a gay community, and not be doing it to expect anything, but they really want to help you become part of the community, learn more about yourself, and take those opportunities because, it's hard out there. So, but definitely don't rush into anything. Just enjoy your time.
Yeah, I was going to say when Manny was like, go to a bar or whatever, if you have, straight allies, or if you don't have any gay friends that can accompany you to the bar, that might help you feel more comfortable because there's someone there that or, if you just have a friend and they're willing to go to a gay bar with you just to help you feel more comfortable, that's also cool. And you don't only have to do bars. The communities have grown so much because of social media. There are different like gay clubs like on Facebook and Threads and things like that, like where they have different events that you could go to that isn't just, boom, 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 we're in a club drinking, whatever the case may be. But it gives you an opportunity to be social and meet people in a different way.
Yeah, check your local LGBTQ plus gay community centers. They may have meetups once a month or whatnot. Yeah, that was a good point. Like when I used to go to the clubs, I am one of those that doesn't do well in the environment, mostly because I feel judged, and that's something I'm working on. But I always used to bring my best friend Amanda, and then Brittany as well. my two partners in crime to the gay clubs, just because it felt comfortable to have somebody that I knew there.
Right.
And if anything, you had somebody to talk to.
Yes.
Because anxiety kicks in. It's like, oh my God, I'm just standing here. Everybody's looking at me. That person's judging me. That person's judging me. Oh my God, what should I do? Oops, drop my drink. Stuff like that has happened before to me at a gay club. So,
but yeah, do all those things and write back to us. Let us know if you get out there and how it's going.
Yeah. Thank you for submitting your question. Do you want to read the next one?
Sure.
Do you want this or that?
We'll do story time.
All right, story time.
Okay.
Let me get my Earl Grey tea.
Here is an anonymous story. Everyone settle in. Grab your drink or a snack. Let's get this party started. I once broke up with a man. And in the retaliation move, he posted my phone number on Craigslist in the adults only section, advertising my services.
What?
My phone was ringing nonstop, and I was getting nonstop text messages from men soliciting sex. At first, I thought it was my ex-husband's new, much younger girlfriend, but turns out it was the guy I broke up with. I filed a police report, and that's how I found out that he drove past my house that night before posting the information online and saw somebody else's vehicle in my driveway. He broke into the vehicle and found out there was another man at my house, and that's what set him off. He drove home, stewing on it, and posted the ad from his own computer using his own email and his own phone number.
Dummy.
We ended up going to court. He didn't even look me in the eye. His lawyer apologized to me on his behalf. He was convicted of menacing by stalking, which is a felony.
Yeah.
And he was sentenced to 5 months in jail, which was suspended. He was ordered to go through a psych evaluation and was on 5 months of house arrest. He also used to post about me on social media. And at the sentencing, the judge asked me if there's anything else I wanted to happen. So I asked the judge to tell the man to stop posting about me. Once the sentence was done, the man's lawyer told the judge that the guy had plans to go see his children in a different state, and if his suspended sentence could start after he came back. To that, the judge said, "Absolutely not. Have your client explain to his children why he's not coming." And I love you for that, judge, whoever you are. Because that's not their business. Mm-hmm. That's not what we're here to do. It was definitely a scary situation, but this experience taught me to trust my intuition. There were so many red flags about this guy, but all I could focus on is that somebody liked me, even though I was a divorced mother of 2. And the moral of the story is, I'm so sorry. Mm-hmm. The moral of the story is, trust your gut. If you see a red flag, pay attention to said red flag, and don't let the red flags continue before you say, enough is enough.
Yeah. Wow. That's probably one of the highest stories we got.
I mean, this is rude. Like, it's kind of like revenge porn.
Yeah.
Where
release this because we're not together anymore.
Right. And you're mad at me. So now you're gonna post my nudes on social media. And that's so distasteful for one.
It's so childish.
It's very childish.
Move on. Like, seriously.
Exactly.
Move on. The relationship's over. Find you somebody else. Instead of posting the ex's information on Craigslist, you should have been posting, hey, look in the date. Should put your information, not theirs.
Move on to the next.
Yes. As Ariana Grande said, thank you. Next. But thank you for sharing that story, though. That was wild. I did not see that. A felony. Wow. And to break into somebody's car. Like, what in the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, this man must have had a lot of red flags. And because, I mean, who escalates the situation to that level after you've been broken up with? Don't be driving by people's houses because now you're stalking them.
And then you did it with your own email.
Well, I mean, criminals are often dumb.
Yes, we say this all the time. We watch lots of YouTubes that show us dumb criminal decisions.
Dumb.
And you always like, why did you do that? Like, you probably wouldn't have get caught. Not that I'm trying to endorse
not getting
people
caught.
To be criminals, but I'm just like somebody with common sense. Half the things these people do is like, that's stupid. Why would you have done that?
So dumb.
But anyway, here we go. Last and final question. I ended a relationship a year or so ago. I really loved them, but I just don't think the understanding of my situation was taken into consideration, which I believe led to the ending. I miss the feeling of being loved, and I want to get back with them. Side eye. But believes feelings are not the same for them. I definitely fucked up. I should have been present more. How do I get closure? Should I let go and not expect closure? Or maybe the closure is leaving it alone? Thanks for your advice. Okay, I'm going to go back and read this again because I gave side eye and I don't know if it was appropriate. So they ended a relationship a year or so ago. They loved them, but just didn't think they understood this person's situation, which they believe led to the ending. But you ended the relationship. I'm a little confused there.
I think they're saying that either they didn't understand their partner's situation or the partner didn't understand their situation.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense now. Got it.
I want to take it back to the story because at the end, she said that she ignored the red flags because she felt like she found someone that loved her, because she was a divorced mother of two. And I find that a lot of times people will hold on to relationships just because they have found a person, right? And they found someone to love them despite whatever the circumstances may be. And a lot of people are afraid of losing that. So they stay in situations that they know they shouldn't be in. And I'm not saying that that's what's happening with this situation with the breakup, where they said they fucked up. And I just feel like to get over it's not easy to get over things, right? But as they say, time heals all wounds. And you'll look back on this situation and you will learn from it and you'll do better in the next one. Sometimes we want to go back to that person, even though the situation probably isn't going to change.
I would say if you gave it the opportunity that it deserved and things were communicated and situations were not understood, then I don't think there's much more there to do. Like I always say, give it an opportunity. Give it an opportunity, express your feelings, your desires, your boundaries, whatever they are. And then if that person does not reciprocate or you don't feel they are, I say you can have another conversation. But after that, it's like, then you're kind of in a cycle.
Yes. And you don't want to be in a cycle because I feel like when you do that, it starts to breed resentment and anger towards that person where it really should be at the situation, but like we're human.
Yeah.
And so the more that resentment starts to pile up on you, you start to see this person less than the person that you fell in love with. And sometimes it's hard to get out of that space.
Yeah. So if you feel that you did the opportunity, you gave it the opportunity, communication. Now, if in this instant you did not provide the feelings, the emotions, whatever you needed to tell this person, and you were assuming they were gathering that, then I don't want to say you fucked up, but use that as a learning experience. I don't think you should try to mend that again because at this point, there's probably resentment between both people, I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
But use it as a learning lesson. Like, if I didn't communicate myself appropriately to them, maybe in my next relationship, I'll be more vocal about needs, wants, etc. What do you think? Yeah,
I agree with that. And there may come a time somewhere down the road where, you both are in different places in life, both emotionally and physically, probably. But if it's possible and you both want to reach out to each other and kind of clear the air or whatever the case may be, that could be an option for you. Or you just move on and learn from it and grow from it. And, once you're in your next relationship, you will be able to better either communicate your needs and wants or better understand someone else's needs and wants.
Because sometimes, maybe it is the right person, but we just might not be at the right point
in
our life for that person.
We're all learning and growing every day. It doesn't stop. But at some point, you do get to a maturity level. And I don't mean that like puberty wise, but just like emotionally, because we all go through things and we learn to deal with a breakup. We learn to deal with loss. We learn to deal with resentment and anger differently. But you have to go through those experiences to get there.
Yeah. And then they just make you stronger. And then in that next relationship, you may be able to have that deeper conversation that you feel might be difficult, but it might be easier because you went through the experience of, oh, I didn't share this with my previous person. This time I want to make sure I'm vocal about this because I don't want it to be the issue. And that maybe ends in another opportunity that you had.
Right.
That'll do it. Those are our questions, answers, and stories. We probably could have pulled another one, but it is what it is. You get a short one on our return back. Unless Sean has a massive, what's your issue?
No.
So let's jump over there. Hey there, and we are back in What's Your Issue? What's your issue? I don't think I have one.
I'm gonna try to keep it short and sweet.
Like a candy.
Like a candy.
Yeah, sweet. Anyways, go ahead.
We've said it a million times on this podcast before, and I'm gonna say it probably a million times more. Please make sure that you are educating yourself in regards to what is happening in this country. I'm not telling anybody who to vote for. I'm just telling people to educate themselves because a lack of education will lead us all down a dangerous path where someone will put a camera and a mic in your face and ask you what Juneteenth is, and you will go on a rant about it and not know what it is.
Not a damn word.
I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to be confident in your decision that you make, whatever that decision may be. I will say that I am over people saying that we are fear-mongering when there is a whole website dedicated to Project 2025. It's not fear-mongering. It is a reality. And these people have played a long game where they distracted us with the stupid stunts that they do. But in reality, they want to shift this country into something that the forefathers never meant for it to be. And to me, that's not fear-mongering. That is educating people.
I mean, if you're going to say we're fear-mongering, go to Project 2025 website.
And read it for yourself.
And you can download the whole last book, 900 pages, for free. I don't know why they were selling it, but you can download it for free. But anyways, I downloaded it for free. You can read the whole book. They spell it out in black and white, exactly what they want for the next conservative president. 140 people, 140 plus people that were featured or worked in that book have worked for the Trump campaign, have worked in the Trump administration. So when he tells you he has no clue what Project 2025 is,
lies.
It's a giant fucking lie. The book has been specifically written for the next conservative president. And if you don't want to believe us, again, please
Educate yourself.
I downloaded the book. It's not easy to get through. I have been getting through the book a little bit, day by day. And the stuff they put in there, they're telling you. It's not a point in. I can sit here and say the parts that I've read, I fear for remaining here in the United States. And I'm not trying to scare you about it.
That's my thing. It's not a fear tactic. It is just a reality at this point. It's if a conservative president is elected, this is the rule book that they want to play his administration by. And to me, that is terrifying because I know what that means for me and mine. You might not know what it means for you and yours, but I suggest that you educate yourself so that you do know what will happen to possibly to you or the people that you love or your family. Because it's not just about LGBTQ plus people. It's about women, women, period. Black, white, brown, Chinese, Asian, Puerto Rican, all of y'all. And the rights that they would strip away from you, telling you what to do with your body. Also, no-fault divorces where they want to get rid of that, so it makes it harder for you to break away from someone that may be abusive to you or may threaten to kill you. Like, there's a lot in there.
If you and your family aren't ready to have a child, they want to remove contraception as part of your benefits and your insurance. Like, and they're like, oh, abstinence. I'm like, come on, a married couple, you're going to abstain till you're ready to have a child?
They also want to make porn illegal. They want to imprison or bring charges against people who produce porn. So for all you OnlyFans creators who may be out here just trying to make your coin, if they were allowed to do it, they would be allowed to prosecute you and put you in jail. Like, it's not a game. And I know we're all concerned about whether Biden should step down or not step down, his debate performance, whether he is
His
cognitive. Like, I know we are all stressed about that. And I hear you. Believe me, I do hear you.
I that's concerning to me too.
It is.
But
at the same time, if we let that stand in the way of us electing him as the next president or whoever they put up to replace him, should that come along, the real issue here is if Trump is allowed back into office, the Supreme Court has already set him up to where he can do the things that are in Project 2025, which would eliminate a lot of the safeguards that are there to protect this country from basically him becoming a dictator.
I mean, go back to 2016 when Trump won. We said, oh, okay, well, there's 3 branches of government, so he won't be able to do all these things. And then from day one, we were like, yeah, we were wrong about that. Not that I ever said that wasn't a scenario. I'm like, yeah, right. I know how government works.
Right.
Everybody will band together and pass whatever needs to be passed. And that's what they have done. They have shown us. They have done that tax bill that passed under Trump's first 180 days, I think. That was all of them coming together and agreeing to a plan that fucked most of Americans based on their taxes.
Yeah, so just some highlights here for Project 2025. They want to completely get rid of the Department of Education. And if you know anything about the Nazis, then you will know exactly why they want to do that. They also want to get rid of the civil servants in Washington and replace them with loyalists or people with the same agenda that aligns to whatever the president's is, which would be a conflict of interest. They also want to be able to use the DOJ, the Department of Justice, to be able to go after political rivals. So if he were to win and they were to take over the DOJ, let's just say for fun, he could literally use the military. He could use the Justice Department to go after Biden, Hillary, anyone he wanted to.
If you go out there and you're a proponent of him saying Trump is a douchebag XYZ, there's going to be grounds to put your ass in jail by just using what? Your freedom of speech.
Yeah. And Justice Sotomayor wrote in her dissent how utterly insane this decision is. She wrote, like, point blank, the president can use SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political rival if he felt like it. And he would be immune from persecution.
Do you know where that happens?
Russia. So it's not fear-mongering to me. This is just education. And if any one of those Republicans get on TV and tell you that Project 2025 isn't something that can become a reality, they are also lying. Also, the Heritage Fund, who is the major backer
and consistently involved in Republican campaigning, parties, donating. So don't tell me it's not part
of it. Yes. So the president of the Heritage Fund, who is behind Project 2025, got on TV in an interview and said that this takeover essentially will be bloodless if the left allows it to happen, which means as long as the left lays down and takes it and you play by the rules, should they win, then this will remain bloodless. Now, I understand what fear mongering is, but when somebody literally gets on TV and threatens that there will be bloodshed if you decide to pipe up and protest against this, or if you decide that this is not the America that you want, then there will be blood. And that's not the America that I want to live in. So
that's not the America our founding fathers wanted, even though the birth of our country was not built properly.
Right.
The indigenous people suffered a lot. Black people suffered a lot. But I don't think this was their vision of 2024 United States of America.
Of course not. And again, I understand the call for Biden to step down. I understand it completely.
100.
But I also understand that there is a threat. And I say threat because that's exactly what it is. There is a threat to the livelihood and the lives of a lot of people in this country. Should conservative Christians be allowed to control government? And that's my issue. I just want you to educate yourself. There is a 7-minute video on YouTube where the guy draws out, like, what is Project 2025? If you just want a highlight reel, I strongly suggest that video. We will link it in the show notes if you want to see it. But I really just want people to educate themselves. I'm not telling you who to vote for. This is not fear mongering. This is real life. And I just want people to stop treating this as a joke because you don't like our candidate. Because this is more about administration than anything. Because if they're allowed to replace the administration with the conservatives that they have in line, they even have a whole school that they want to send people through if you sign up on Project 2025 to be a part of this, where you can learn about government and things so that they can put you in positions of power. It is not a joke.
If you need a roadmap of what Project 2025 would do to the U.S., I encourage you to learn more about the politics of Hungary, the country, because that is the most similar model of government that would potentially be here. It lays into the executive power, which here is the president. The president becomes more powerful than ever before in this country. So read Project 2025, get to know a little bit about Hungary's politics, because that is literally the route we're going. And I'm not fear-mongering. You can talk to Marjorie Taylor Greene. She has mentioned Hungary multiple times. You can talk to Marco Rubio. I mean, you can pretty much talk to any Republican. And Hungary is kind of at the base of how Project 2025 also becomes alive here in this country. So I'm not fear-mongering. He's not fear-mongering. I'm just telling you, it's out there for you to read it. It's out in plain. Everybody can read all 900 pages. It's out there for you to believe it. And if you want to be in denial about it and say that our government will never fall, you must not know history.
I mean, literally, because Trump is elected, the Supreme Court is stacked 6-3. And we've seen in the past, I was about to say year, but in the past months, the things that have been overturned, which people thought would never be overturned.
Yeah. I mean,
so
we're still on
it's
Roe
not a
versus
game.
Wade. Like,
it's not a game.
did I say that right?
Roe versus Wade, the abortion.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
I thought I said that wrong. Like, people are like, oh, it's never, it's installed, it's enshrined in our head. No, all it took was 6 conservative judges. So, again, the legislative power, which is not the judicial power, which is the Supreme Court, is set up. It's set up that if they pass an extreme bill in the House and Senate, we can sue about it, but where is it going to land?
Mhm.
The Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will support it. You have judges on the Supreme Court that speak of things that are in the book of Project 2025. They may not say it, but it's literally in it. Samuel Alito, Clarence Thomas, they have said things that are in this book. Not to mention the federal courts are also stacked by Trump before he left office. Yes, Biden has done some too. But all you have to do is, if you don't like your ruling, you take that shit to the Supreme Court. You don't think they're going to pick it up? You don't think they're going to vote in favor? Don't let these judges fool you. Don't let these Republicans, Trump, fool you any longer. I just have nothing else to say, because I'm like, now that I'm reading the book, I'm like, it is in plain sight. They are telling you, they want you to read what is coming. They want you to know. It's there. They're going to deny it to you on TV because they know you're not going to read it.
Mm.
They know you're not going to read it. They know you're not going to listen to somebody that has a difference of opinion on the facts of Project 2025. They know it. That's why they get in front of the camera and say, oh, well, Linda, no, I don't know anything about Project 2025 and I'm not associated with it, because they know you're not going to go read it. And by the time you realize that you should have believed what you could have read, it's going to be too late.
Yeah. So all I have to say, just educate yourselves and, make the decision that is best for you and yours. And that is my issue.
That is our issue. Thank you again for joining us. Don't forget, we are on an every other week schedule. You can watch Word on Social. We'll always update you, obviously. But do check it out there. And how can you find us?
Using @ MASXP23, or just typing in MASXP23. You can find us on all social media platforms, on Spotify, on Apple Music, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Yes. Episode 82 is in the books.
Yay.
And if you want, if you go to Project 2025 and you can't find a free copy and I somehow got it, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to email that shit right out to you. I don't know. I'll become the illegal distributor of Project 2025.
I mean, it's free. I don't think it's illegal
I
distribution.
don't know. It said you can buy it, but it was sold out. I'm like, who the hell's buying it? It was free.
Why would you? How much is it?
I couldn't see it because it was sold out.
Well, anyway, neither here nor there.
It's conservatives. What do you think? It doesn't have to make sense.
Thank you guys so much for joining us and coming back. I know we've been gone for a minute. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Go out and see Inside Out 2 and get all in your feels about that and just disassociate from the madness that is soon to come.
Feelings. Go ahead and pick up your
feelings. Do that. So that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. As we always say here, do something good for yourself
and then do something good for somebody else, like maybe downloading the Project 2025 and handing it over,
or at least tell them about it.
I wish somebody, I know that video was good. I just wish somebody gave me the highlights on a OneNote page, like a one pager, because
it's 900 pages.
It's 900 pages.
That's kind of
and they
hard
go
to
into
do.
like such elaboration on bullshit that I'm just like, you could have cut half of these pages out.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you guys on the next one.
Bye. Is that up there?